So tonight I'm going to make, I think I'm going to do them in the oven. So oven chicken chimichangas. You can also pan fry these. I'm just going to make them easy tonight. But I've got green chilies, garlic, spray olive oil. I'm just trying to get through this stuff. I got the rotisserie chicken. It's already shredded. I had onions left over, cheese already shredded, but I'll have to shred some more. These are the large flour tortillas. It seems to work better for the chimichangas after you wrap them and stuff to do it this way. Chili powder, oregano, cumin, salt, pepper, and smoked paprika. And I'll probably throw some rice on the side and call it dinner tonight. Just something quick and easy. So I've got a pan heated and I put a little bit of avocado oil in. I have onion already cut up from last week. Great way to make sure you use stuff up is I just went through my refrigerator and put all the groceries away. And I saw what we had left, and this is what I'm adding to the pan. So we'll get this started, cooked down, and then we will add in the garlic and all the seasoning. So I've cooked down the onions. I'm going to add in a heaping amount of garlic. And we're just going to cook it for another minute. Now, at this point, you could easily use taco seasoning packet. I will say, my mom has been no salt for a while because my dad was. And she's starting to eat salt, but it was really interesting. We had an old El Paso taco seasoning packet in the cabinet, so we just decided to use it the other day, and it was really, really salty. And it was the only thing we could figure out. So we bought the Siete, because we made fajitas the other day. It wasn't nearly as salty. We're probably just going to make our own from now on. I normally do at home. She doesn't always have all the spices and stuff. So in this, now that we've added the garlic, I like to cook the seasoning just a little bit. So add in your chili powder. Like I said, this is where you can put the seasoning packet. Oregano or Italian seasoning. Cumin. I'm going to go light on the salt because I am using a rotisserie chicken. I like to cook the seasoning just a bit. It just warms it up. Sometimes if the seasoning's also starting to go dead, it brings it back to life a little bit. I don't think any of my seasoning's at that point, but I don't want to risk it. Pepper, and as always, smoked paprika. Cooking it really, just cooking some of the flavor. And the final thing is the green chilies. I'm not trying to make this hot. I like the flavor of the green chilies. For rotisserie chicken, I don't know how much. I'm gonna just make sure there aren't any huge pieces in this. Sometimes they're shredded really well, other times they're not. Yes, I did pay more for this. This is one of those shortcuts. Some nights I just need it. And I am going to use it all. This way we have leftovers of this. So, I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but I have no audio. So, I'm going to do a voiceover, and these are not my better attributes, is doing it this way. So, basically, I just used the big flour tortillas, and I'm scooping out some of the chicken, and I'm putting the shredded cheese. Have no clue what I talked about. I'll have to really start watching my sound to make sure that I didn't do this more often. But then I just roll them so that they are seam side down, and I'm putting them on a sheet pan with parchment paper. We are going to bake these at 350, and it was about 15, almost 20 minutes till I got the flour tortilla crunchy. So this is where we're going to take the olive oil spray. You can also spray them with avocado oil, whatever type of oil you've got. You could also deep fry, not deep fry, but shallow pan fry here. As I said, we're going to put these in the oven because it's just easier. And this was after almost 20 minutes, and they're nice and crispy here. And really easy, simple weeknight dinner. So tonight, I'm just going to throw together sloppy joes the way we've always made them. I don't have any Tabasco, so I'm just going to use whatever my husband has for hot sauce. You don't use more than a few dashes. Buns or bread or whatever you want to put it on. I'm going to use almost 3/4, maybe a little less, of the pepper, an onion, ketchup, 2 pounds of ground beef, salt, pepper, and Worcestershire. Just something really simple and easy, and this is quick. So I've got the 2 pounds of ground beef. I have added in the pepper and the onion, and I've added in about a little less than 1/4 cup of water. It just makes it so it doesn't pop all over the place, and I hate cleaning up my stove after the grease is all over. So, and it makes it so that to me, I make coney sauce that way, where you put water in the ground beef to cook it, and all it does is it makes the ground beef softer so it crumbles into smaller pieces. I have no clue. I've just been doing it forever. So I have it cooked down with the onions and the peppers. And now we are going to add, let's go ahead and add a little bit of the salt. I need 2/3 because I'm doubling the recipe. Let's see if I can get it all in this one. I follow the recipe and then I add when I need to. So I ended up buying a new microphone, and evidently it's just not working, so I'll be doing some work on that. With this sloppy joe, I figured out, because it was 2 1/4 pounds of ground beef that I ended up using, not 2. I ended up having to do more of the ketchup, the Worcestershire, and the Tabasco. I ended up making it a little hotter than I normally do, but it all ended up pretty good. I will post the recipe down below. Sorry for the malfunctioning in this video. I typically don't have this. New equipment, new problems. So the way I grew up eating sloppy joes is we always just put tons of mustard over the top of it. I think my mom and I just like the vinegary taste of it. The other thing you could always do is add a little bit of vinegar. But that's what the hot sauce in the recipe is for, is just for that little bit of a twang. So this is a Crockpot steak bite recipe. And we're going to serve it either with some risotto or some mashed potatoes. But I'm going to load the crock pot tonight, or actually a bag, for my husband to put in the crock pot tomorrow. He's off. So I've got some petite sirloin steaks, a little over 1.25 pounds. It's just the two of us. Some minced garlic, Worcestershire. This one has like nothing left in it, so that's why I have 2 out. So it's just beef stock. I have 2 half packets of au jus, getting them out of my pantry. An onion, a little bit of butter, and some pepper. And we're going to get the steak and the onions cut up and into a bag. So I am going to put it into a Ziploc bag. I couldn't decide if I wanted to put it in the crock pot liner and then into a bowl with a lid, and then my husband could lift it out. So we're just going to do it this way. I'm going to cut the onion up, just a rough chop. Nothing too difficult. Ooh, there we go. I have never put sirloin in the crock pot, so this is a first. Something a little different. So I thought I would do it and see how it works. I'm always looking for a crock pot meal once a week, on a day when he's home or I'm home, or you know, something like that. I typically try not to leave the crock pot on if we're not here. Just a fear. I'm sure you understand that. But we're just going to cut these. Like you would stew meat. I figured that's the best way to say it. And just into cubes. I am going to cut off the excess fat. I am going to do that. There's not that much. So we'll get this all prepped and I'll have dinner ready for tomorrow. I do work all day. And the next day is Mother's Day, so I'm still going in and doing one client. They're an every 4 week, and it's, with some of my clients, it's hard if we go off schedule because I book out so far, and me taking a day off does not help. So, and I'm only one person, so Neil say I can't just figure a way to squeeze some people back in. So I am going in on Mother's Day for one dog. I'll be there about an hour. He waits in the car for me, so this just works out really well. And he's a very nice man. Him and his wife. So that's how we're going to do this. So I've got my bowl. I've got the beet and the onions in the bag. We're going to empty out both of these au jus packets, and I will be putting that on my grocery list. I like to have au jus. I like to have ranch packets, Italian seasoning packets. It's one of those things that I buy them when I think about it, and then I make recipes around it. So we'll put in what I have left. It called for a cup. I don't know if I really want a whole cup. We'll put some in. Got the Worcestershire. I am not adding salt between the au jus, the beef broth, the Worcestershire. This is salty enough. And I like fresh ground pepper, so that's why I always have that. And I'm still working through this jar of garlic. Let's put a big glob in there. Give this a mix. It calls for butter, so I will probably just grab a chunk of butter and we'll throw it in there. I'm going to leave the butter out on the counter so that I can refill my butter crock. I'm just going to put that in there. Add your gravy. And that's it. Tomorrow, my husband will throw this into the crock pot for about 3 to 4 hours. When I come home, I will either throw together mashed potatoes or risotto, and we will have this on top. And I will let you know how this one is. I'm excited, and at the same time I'm going, please don't let me screw up a steak, because I love steak and I really want this to work. So this is after 4 hours on low, and remember, and I've said it multitudes of times, my crock pot cooks hot. The steak is wonderfully tender. So if you ever get a sirloin that isn't the greatest, do this with it. I had forgotten, I had a package of mushrooms sliced left from last week, so I threw them into a pan and sauteed them and threw some mashed potatoes. And that's dinner.